be afraid of your freedom.
Boom, here we are again, guys. We're at level 1. You lot are idiots, man. Idiots.
We understand that you have to do what you have to do. But
You're idiots. You're idiots, and you're tyrants trying to tell people what to do. Shush you. Shush you. You're aggressive man. No time for you. Go away.
What I'm trying to say is...
You got small man syndrome. Go away. Go away. You remind me of a little Jack Russell.
Sir, there's no need for that.
Can you take that badge off? It offends me. It's a gang badge, mate. That isn't part of your uniform. That flag there is not part of your uniform. Yeah, it's a gang badge. Go actually fight some crime, yeah? You're a sausage, mate. Look, got a sausage here. Sausage! Big sausage! Big, massive jumbo sausage. See that sausage? Oh, sausages. Gamer, what do you think to all these sausages today, bro? Stay out of those dogging sites as well. Those dogging sites, I know about you and your pals. You filthy animals. Don't film. Are you mad, bro? It's also publicly accessible. Section 33, Criminal Justice Act 1972 says that I'm allowed to be here. There's no barrier. There's nothing that stops me from being able to come on here. Okay, well, hang on. I'll reply. Yes, people, evening. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. It'll be a great start if you can. Can't start with just saying hello to people individually tonight because I'll be here all night. There's already 127 of you in the chat. So I want to start with just saying I appreciate everybody coming in. It's something, again, a little bit different than just an echo chamber, I guess. Like when you just got everybody on with the same kind of views, things can, whether we like to admit it or not, sometimes become a bit of an echo chamber. That works on both sides, and that's whenever people share the same kind of opinion, there's nobody there ever to oppose it. But anyway, you are, I'm sure, familiar with Mr. John Hutchingson, who is a real Antifa. In real, has a group, a Facebook page. You can go over and follow that. That's Real Anti-Fascist Network for anyone that doesn't know about John and wants to go over and have a look at what John's about. It's there on his Facebook page. But we've got him. We're going to bring him on tonight anyway, and allow him to have his own voice, basically, to where he can defend himself. I just want to quickly go back and give a bit of a backstory before I bring John on. So I first come across John in Manchester on a Britain First match. I think it was, was it Britain First match? I think it was. Anyway, and I've come across John. There's been a bit of back and forth. A couple of people have made a couple of videos. Myself, DP was another one, I believe. There was a few other people there that day, but don't quote me on all of them. People went on when we put those videos out. There were certain people in the comments that were making out that they knew who this John was, and there was a certain article about John. Apparently fitted the description and everything. Same place, same kind of age, same name, or so we thought, same name. Turns out the middle name is different and it's not the right guy. And ever since, he's kind of blown up on the internet. Where again, whether you kind of like him, you hate him, you loathe him, whatever it is, he's blown up all over the internet. And I watched it in Blackpool on Saturday. And to be honest, most people with a camera were quite interested in John, not so much the protest. We all covered the protest, don't get me wrong, as it marched, but John definitely brought attention. Again, some will say he brings it on himself, some will say he don't. Well, John's going to come on. I'm going to ask John a little bit about himself quickly and just kind of like how he's come around having his views. And then because he's got work, I've got work in the morning. I don't want to kind of keep this going too long, and I don't want to keep John longer than he wants to be here. So, yeah. I'll bring him on. I'm going to have a bit of a chat with John, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link out as I usually do, and like the regulars and that come up. If there's anyone from kind of like the left as well that shares the same kind of views as John, then please do come up, because I know that there'll be people that will come up tonight that are going to have opposing views to John. And what I wouldn't want it to seem like is everybody, and John's more than happy for people to come up. He's told me he doesn't care. Yeah, he stands his ground. You've seen that in the videos. The guy stands his ground. To be fair, So all I ask is keep it respectful, and I won't have the. I get that. I'm not telling people they can't have a sense of humour, but I won't have anybody brandishing him a nonce or a sex offender in the chat. And if that kind of talk gets put in there, I'm afraid I'm going to have it kind of like timed out from the chat, because I believe that now not to be true. I did, and I have shook hands with John Saturday and apologised for my part in this false allegation. Yeah, mine, bro. Yeah. Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry. Me taking bloody orders for the missus at the door, people. Anyway, I'm going to bring John on anyway now and stop wasting everybody's time. Evening, John. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Scott. You all right, man? Good.
I'm good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, so obviously you've just heard me give it a little bit of rundown there. There might be some people that don't know. I'd be very surprised, because I think you've definitely done some views over social media for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm infamous.
You're infamous. So, yeah, John, I'll just get to it, bro. A little bit about yourself quickly, kind of like, again, you can go as, tell us what you want, basically. You don't have to say too much, but who's John? What does he stand for? How did you come about having those views? Have you always had those views, etc., really?
Yeah, so I've always been a left-leaning socialist. I was a bit of a liberal back in the day, you know, peace and love and all the rest of it, as I smoked loads of weed and shit. But as I moved more forward, I read a bit more, ancient books from the 18th century and stuff, and I started to understand about the country we're in and about capitalism and stuff like that. It's just pushed me over to the left. Now, obviously, you guys think the left is all the blue-haired soy boys, the trannies and all the rest of it. But I can promise you now, the left is a lot more than that. It's the working man of this country.
Yeah, well, I always thought that growing up. Growing up, obviously from a council estate lad, as much as I kind of knew about politics back then, because I'm still kind of new with it even now, I always was brought up to kind of vote Labour, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, working class, like you say. I don't think Labour personally necessarily stand for the working class anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, not anymore, but we're hoping to sort that out, really are. We need people who aren't millionaires. We need community members, people who've done well in our community from their own backs, merit-wise, to step up and start to fight for our communities again. Because if you haven't noticed, there's something going on in our society. We no longer have community centres. You don't even know your neighbours. There's no good work anymore. All the good jobs are gone. Even council, back in the day, you could work for the trains, for the councils, for the steel industry. They were all brilliant jobs. They're all gone. Something's happened. All the wealth is going up to the top. It's going back to the rich. They want to break up our society. Now, I've got my suspicions that it's fascism that they want in this country. So they're breaking up society so they can swoop in with this strong leader bullshit and offer a solution to everybody that, this man knows what he's doing. Forget about, Labour and the community and all the rest of it. So I'm hoping that Labour are going to pull their fingers out, purge Starmer and all the rest of the rich ones that are in there. These, politicians that do it for themselves, the career politicians, if you like.
Yeah.
And we need community members, people who are strong and fight for each other, not their own pockets, yeah?
Yeah, no, I understand that. How long have you been kind of involved with activism or kind of marches or counter-protesting, whatever it may be?
Yeah, so I've been at it when I best I could for about 15 years, but I got, like, when I came to Wales, so 10 years ago, with Llangefni is when I met a few decent political activists, and I started to learn more about left and right. So it was Plaid Cymru were hosting the march in Llangefni, and I went there on the left. Obviously, they thought I was a fash and everything at the time, the lefties, if you like. But I started just to get more and more into it. So I met Leanne Wood, who was a brilliant speaker, and I just agreed with what they were saying about the hate and everything and the division that's caused, and everything leans over to nationalism. So I just got into it through that, yeah. And from there, I followed like all the strikes. So I was part of when the train strikes with Mick Lynch, who I believe is a brilliant man. And then I've done a lot with the Brum Bin strikes. I used to travel down to Birmingham, do all their strikes. And then eventually I joined the British Socialist Party in North Wales. So I'm busy with that. And the anti-fash groups sort of come hand in hand with that sort of thing. So I joined, I'm a founder member of Wrexham Anti-Fa. So from there, I thought, right, well, these people don't really move as fast as I like to do things. So I created my own, which is Real Anti-Fa. And then I thought, right, well, I need to start getting out there now. So I started traveling and attending these marches and getting my name out there. And my main aim was to protect the left, the weakest part of the left, because I like to protect people, especially give them a voice, the weak ones. And that's when you found me when I threatened to elbow Billy Moore in the head, because I thought he was a proper grifter who was threatening the weak ones on the left. So I've got a big problem with how the left is identified, because it's like a propaganda campaign against the left to make out that they're all weirdos and stuff, which I don't accept. I think a lot of the left are very intelligent people. They're different. We've got to understand that society's made up everybody. I understand there's a right wing, but the right wing don't seem to understand this.
Do you understand that? Like, do you understand, like, on the right wing? Yeah, because I've heard this argument before. So certain people say that they'll turn and say, everyone over on this side, they're the teachers, they're your doctors, and it's like that's not really true. There's the same people over on the other side that sit with the same kind of professions. But they can't be identified going to a march, because if they do, because of their particular type of work, they worry about getting the sack simply, and it has happened many a times, simply for attending these so-called or far-right marches.
I've lost jobs myself through it already. Yeah, I've lost friends through it. I've lost jobs through it. Now, a lot of people within the British Socialist Party, they're like solicitors and teachers and stuff like that. And you're right, they don't like to show their faces because it's far right and far left at the minute, isn't it? But I want more of the unions out. You've got some big unions here with over 1 million members in each one. Unite, your Unisons and stuff, and they got big power to push the direction of the politics and so on. Like Labour was born and bred from the unions. A lot of them politicians were brought up from the unions and invested by those unions to push unions, whereas your right wing, they don't want those unions because they give the workers power. Those right wingers.
No, I agree. Like I was saying actually the other day, I think it was on Society X's panel, that like there's things that, like, even as right wingers, you got to like admire the left, or kind of thank them for things like your workers' rights. And I'm all with you. Like, if it wasn't the NHS, social housing, I totally understand all that. Yeah, I do. Like, but I don't know. There's got to be more to it, Like, I don't know. I just kind of think that the left have done well with that. But if you're talking about the unions, to be honest with you, they're now involved in geopolitics. Yeah. That is nothing to do with workers' rights. And I think there's a lot of people that are funding, or people probably paying into these unions, think that they're doing it because they're for workers' rights, but this money is clearly going elsewhere. We all know that we know one thing: you left are far more organised, or I do. This is from my own observation. I've noticed the left are far more organised than the right. The right, we organise
ourselves. We've got no funding. We fund ourselves.
I don't believe that. I believe there's got to be some funding.
Yeah, the right's the one with the funding, with all your businessmen, all your millionaires funding this.
No one's funded me to go, John. This is what I'm trying to say. I mean, if someone wants to pay me to go,
Nobody's
I'd be
funded me
happy
to go either, buddy. I promise you.
Right. I don't think they have. I don't think they have. I know there's
I'm
a few
talking about
people that may
right-wing
think so.
politics are funded, like your Restore Party. You look at Nigel Farage, you got a gift of £5 million. He's had houses given to him, so they're funded.
Yeah, I don't like Nigel Farage. I don't like him.
Well, look at that Rupert Lowe. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got funding coming from Israel. And look at your Tommy Robson's funding from Israel. You know, the left aren't funded from Israel. That's a fact. I promise you that. The unions. When I went down to the Together March, yeah, the bus was put on by the unions. I'll give you that. That's all the funding I've ever had. I got a free bus ride to the Together Alliance March in London.
Yeah. So all these billboards, everything that's printed exactly the same, looks identical. All these placards. You're telling me that's not funded again by the unions?
Well, like Stand Up to Racism and all that, they fund themselves. You know, you pay subs to your party, the same as my Socialist Party. I pay £20 a month. And, you know, you get so much of that back to spend on your placards and on your banners and stuff, because they're our weapons. We can't go around setting fire to things, so we use banners and placards, flags. You know, that's our weapon. We stand there, we shout things and that. That's it. That's how you demonstrate in this country.
It's just like, it's mad, yeah, because like I say, I've been called Nazi. I've been called a fascist, a bigot.
We love the
and listen, you're entitled to have that view of me, and I accept it. But I've never been called those things, even though I've always really held the same views. I've had people of colour, yeah, that are my friends. I've got people. My nan was married to before she died, for many years, she was married to a Bayesian man that she met here. He earned a load of money, and many years ago, he went back to Barbados, mate, and fucking like settled out there, and they'd lived out there like 20, 30, fucking maybe 40 years. Do you know what I mean? So I ain't no race. So when some people call me things like racist, it's again like I get my back up, because there's only a few issues I have, right? These, and then I think if I took these things away, everything else that the left stands for, especially around economics, and I know there'll be a lot of people listening to me in my chat that don't agree, because they'll be like more right wing than me, but economic wise, I kind of agree with a lot of what the left say. I do. Yeah. The only issue I have is we shouldn't be having mass migration in this country. And that isn't just this country. I don't think, and I understand about migration, the fact that you're going to get it, but to the point that we are, and these people that advocate for it, and I don't know if you do, but it's kind of the only question I have then is like what's the limit? Because these people that say refugees are welcome here, okay.
Yeah, when they're saying stuff like refugees are welcome here, they're talking about people of wars and people who need help, and we're a good, tolerant nation that would help others. You know, we see these people as human beings.
How many?
Now, mass migration is a different thing.
But how many?
Mass migration is a different thing. They're being brought here to do the low, cheap work in the NHS, in the construction industry, in the hospitality, in the factories that our workers will not do. We have a 5% unemployment rate in this country. Why? Why do we even have unemployment? We've got 7% of migrants in this country. They're doing the work that they don't want to do.
I think there's around about 750,000 jobs available right now.
Well, why aren't they filled?
So I don't know how many. I don't know why they're not filled. Well, actually,
why are migrants being brought here to do them jobs when we've got our own unemployed? There's something wrong with the system. It's the system itself.
So my missus works in a particular industry, and they seek. And I imagine in that industry, not necessarily her place, but in that industry, they source their staff directly from abroad. There's job adverts that don't even go out here. They go straight out abroad to places like India, where they come. Admittedly, they have to go through things like exams. They have to come through on a sponsor, where I think that costs them about 26 grand that they have to obviously pay back. And then there's loads of stipulations. But I do think, even so, as much as I think that the illegal migration is a problem, I also think just even like the legal, I think that all needs tightening up. I think the visas, for instance, 1.2 million visas were given out last year, yeah? But what you got to understand is that's not 1.2 million people. There's going to be people within that have got like multiple people coming in on that visa. Yeah, that is far too many people to be doing. And I know this year, I think that's half to so far to about 500 and something that's coming, but it's still too much. And if we're doing that every year,
we can't train up all our own people. We need these services that the people in other countries can provide. You know, we've got a large economy, large population. We need those other people here. But why aren't we focusing on training our unemployed to do these jobs instead of leaving them to rot on the dole and like sickness and claiming pips and skiving as much as I possibly can to not do the work?
I like to be fair. I don't think it's an excuse for why they've brought migrants in to fill these jobs, because I think they would have done it anyway. They know it's cheap labour. We know that these people are working for cheap labour. We know, uncovered it a long time ago. These illegal migrants that are coming over were in contact with people that were letting
to a house, tend to a room, and all that.
People were like basically loaning out their Uber account. So they would let somebody go basically as them and go and do a shift as a delivery driver, for instance. The guy whose Uber account it is, he'll keep so much as like a little commission, and then the guy gets the rest. Like we know this stuff's happening. It's been proven. Like these people as well. I'm sorry, but I agree. Britain is a very generous. And I think we should be proud as British people of the amount of migrants that we have come in, helped, and actually had migrants help us. And we've brought people from all over the world. Yeah, we've had like the best doctors. But the problem is, I feel like the people that are coming over now, they're not those people, mate. They're not. Unfortunately,
we took over most of the world. We had a large Commonwealth, and those people then. You know, we had to pick and choose, and if we wanted to, we can take the healthcare services of that country and bring them to ours and help us, you know. So that's what's been going on. We've been helping ourselves, these other countries, best, the cream of the crop, if you like. And we're leaving our own people to rot on the dole. And it's a joke. We need the 5% that are unemployed should not be unemployed in this country. They should be everyone should have a job. There should be 100% employment. There shouldn't be any unemployment. We're one of the richest countries in the world.
To get to, John. That's what I wanted to get to. I do think, though, there is a little bit, and like I said, it's not the excuse, but maybe it's actually played a part of why people are like it. But I think within our own people, if you like, we've become a little bit lazy, bro.
Well,
people don't want to do nobody wants to do the hard work anymore.
Yeah, but now they're all mourning that the migrants are here taking all the jobs and taking all the healthcare and houses and everything, because we've allowed the businessmen to bust them in on low wages, ram them into a house and do the shit jobs that no one else wants to do. And now we're blaming them, and now millions have got to go. Now millions of people have got to be displaced and a stain on our culture because of what's happened through capitalism.
Do you think it's a stain on our culture?
Well, it will be if we start deporting millions of them, yeah.
Well, I think that's maybe a little bit much. Maybe that's a little bit, like, I don't know. Millions need to go,
in America
maybe.
With Trump and that ICE. Don't you think that people look at America like, shamefully, they're just grabbing people and ragging them out of businesses and stuff like that? So it's shameful to do things like that.
I don't think you can bring people over. I don't think you can send anybody home that came here legally or illegally.
Want to, mate.
Free.
No, you get the people I was demonstrating against.
So you know, when I asked you for a number of when, like, what would be, where would you stop? For me, this is where I would stop, was sending people home. Like, pre-Tony Blair. Anything pre-Tony Blair can stay. And anyone like from Tony Blair, when he just decided to open the floodgates, and later on you kind of had this massive Boris wave, because again, the Conservatives have done the same thing. I know, but this isn't like a personal thing, but like if you're bringing something to society, then I imagine you're probably going to stay. But if you're somebody that's like just been leeching in the whole time you've been here, or you've been committing crime and you haven't really contributed anything, and you've been a bit of a hindrance on us, then I don't see why any country, not just us, didn't have the right to turn and say, look, you're taking the fucking piss out of us a little bit. And let's, we're, again, a great nation. There's not many nations like us where there is this benefit system in the first place. It's kind of like dog eat dog world, isn't it? In a lot of these
I don't believe
countries.
it should be left on the benefit system for a long term, yeah. I do not believe it. You should everyone should be contributing to our society, everybody. If you're raising kids and you're out of work, then that's a short period. You pay it back later when you get your education, you get your career going again. Nobody should be here leeching off anything. But again, capitalism is to blame. Why have we got a 5% unemployment rate in this country? It shouldn't have it. And then we're bringing in millions of migrants from other countries, other Commonwealth countries, whatever, to do the work that our unemployed should be doing. Yet people think I'm mad for saying stuff like that. We shouldn't have that 5% unemployment of people sat about on the dole. It shouldn't be happening.
I agree.
They need to be re-educated and put into work.
I agree. Again, I can't dispute it, man. I don't think anyone else would either. We do need to do that. But we don't. But we don't. This is what I'm saying. But we don't. We don't have a government that's wanted to do that.
It's the system itself. It's based off capitalism. It's based off capital. So it's businessmen. It's people who have capital and trying to make more. They get the cheapest labour because they don't want to fork out wages. So let's not blame the government as much. Yes, the government has to be held account. But it's the businessman. It's these business owners that brought these people in. For the last 30 years, have been bringing these people in. After the Second World War, it started because we'd lost a lot of men and that. We had to rebuild all the houses after bombings and stuff. They started to bring the Commonwealth people in to help us. And it's just escalated from there. I could probably pinpoint it to fucking the 80s or something when it started worse. And it was all to do with cheap labour. The whole thing can be put down to cheap labour, which is a disgrace.
It is down to cheap labour.
It's a disgrace.
It is, and they'll work like dogs as well. That's again, I won't fault them. Not all of them, because again, I think the ones that I'm thinking about, we're bringing over, bro. And again, you're not really going to agree with my language here, but we're kind of just bringing over third worlders, and we're bringing over our equivalent, their equivalent to poor people. I'd say just slightly lower than working class.
I haven't seen any evidence. I don't know. I'm just a man, aren't I, at the end of the day? I don't know what they're bringing over. But if they're bringing up people over to do the shit jobs, they're not going to be very educated, or they wouldn't be doing those shit jobs, wiping our pensioners' asses, working on construction sites, fucking shoveling around. Because our men, the dull ones, will not do it because, I don't know, they don't like hard work or something. But there's a lot going on, mate. There's a lot going on. The NHS is actually is run by immigrants, isn't it? As far as I know. I haven't got all the facts, but as far as I know, every time you're in hospital, there's people of colour, there's people from different countries. They're the one who are giving you your care. Well, I don't know what's going on there. They must be working for cheaper money. That's why our people don't want to do it, or we can't get those people.
Truth is, John,
we still need them, though, don't we? We still need people to run the hospital, so we have to use immigrants. What can I do? What can we do? What are you going to do? Send them all back and not have any hospitals running, or not having anyone in the care system?
The truth is, though, and I use the type of shit that will end up getting me called a Nazi. Is we just don't need these people here, and there ain't no need for it, bro. There's no need for it to be sourcing people
to be here. Do you know what I mean? There must be an opening, or they wouldn't be here, would they? Why are they in the hospitals? Why have they got careers in hospitals? It's because we can't we can't produce our own people to work in hospitals. We're not socially engineered properly. We just let everyone have a free-for-all, and then anyone can just take any sort of position because they've got the qualifications. End of the day, those hospitals need running, and whether we use immigrants or not, I think they just don't care. The capitalists don't care, do they? They just fill it, boom, done. Whereas I'm still going on about these 5% unemployed that we should be retraining and getting them working in the hospitals then. Because what you're going to do...
Because for me, I'm going to be straight with you. This is where I stand. This is the only things I reckon we'd clash on. I don't agree with the trans movement. I believe gays got no problem. Got again friends that are gay. There'll be one in the chat now probably listening to this. Okay, I've got no problem with the LGB or whatever it is. Yeah, anything other than that, bro. I'm not being funny.
With the trans,
it's too much. It's too much.
The trannies and that. They've always been trans people, so they need protecting
But
because
they haven't always wanted to chop the dick off, bro.
1% of the
wanted to
population
do
that
that.
identifies trans, they need protection, yeah, simple as. So we protect everybody in the left.
So no, but my point is, yeah, you can be trans and you can get on with your life and do your thing. It doesn't have any effect on my life, yeah? But what you can't expect from me, because it would also be my right as much as you have your rights, which I'm willing to respect, get on with your life. I'll never give you any grief for being that way, yeah? But don't ever, I couldn't stand there and call somebody a woman if I knew they were a man, or I couldn't call somebody a man that I knew was a woman.
That's your
for
choice.
me, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, bro. For me, that's too much, and that should be accepted. If that weren't so pushed on, again, just like anything else, you can be whatever you want to be. Just don't push your stuff onto other people. If
it's
it kind of
tolerance, isn't it, buddy? Tolerance for others, and that, you know.
So that's one. That's the one problem I have that I think we wouldn't agree on. I don't agree on this mass migration, illegal migration. I think it's a no-no. And that's where a lot of you're racist because you don't. And two, and I can't be called racist for this simply because it isn't a race, it's a religion, but I am very critical of Islam. And I think Islam in itself should be banned in this country.
Well, if you're going to ban Islam, ban Christianity as well and get it all gone.
It's a Christian country though, bro.
Well, if you look at the percentages, it's something like 7% of people identify as Christian and stuff, and it's the same as with the Muslims, and they're about equal. Everyone's not into it. It's just nobody cares about you for imaginary friend.
For me, it's definitely that Islamist stuff, man. It's too much in this country. Do you think it's right, for instance, that we've got 45,000, probably more than that now, sat on a watch list that are all Muslims?
Well, the police need to do better jobs, and if there's terrorists in this country, get them arrested.
Should they be here if they're a terrorist?
If they're a terrorist, no, they're not. If they're going to cause problems, arrest them, send them back to their own country or whatever. And if they want to go and put Sharia law, go to a Sharia law country. There's not going to be Sharia law in this country. We're British people. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to identify as British, then welcome to our culture. But if you want to cause problems, then I'm sorry, it's not on. Nobody's causing problems. I expect that for anybody, no matter what colour or creed or religious belief they are.
Yeah. Well, for me, John, like I say, this live was all about, like I say, me saying it straight. I'll say, like I said to you, I'll say it publicly. I'll shoot your hand on camera. I'm yet to put the video out, but I will. Like I say, apologising. You ain't what you've been called. I wanted that cleared up. You're right. I think personally, and just from Saturday as well, when we're not shouting at each other, I think, to be honest, bro, that apart from a few little things, I don't think we actually disagree.
Well, the right and left isn't that different. It's more you talk about individualism, we talk about everybody. It's stuff like that. It's basic things.
You seem a bit like, I don't know, to me you seem like down to earth, a bit more down to earth than maybe the average person on the left I may speak to. That's just my perception of you.
Yeah, because again, you're talking about the ultra left, aren't you? Because that's what you've all associated the left.
I just was about to say, to be honest, this left and right annoys me. Like I say, to be honest, what do you mean left, right? I never even thought about whether I was left, right.
Look at your far right, your Ryan Ferguson's giving Hitler salutes, talking about murdering Jews and that. You know what I mean? It's just the same as having your far left, your transsexuals and all the rest of it. So
again, you know, like things like that. That's funny. So you know when you get like seen at marches, this is the kind of thing that's for like, and you don't get it again with the right so much unless you know something I don't. But all these kind of like places like the Hope Not Hates and these ones that write lefty articles, and they'll go out of their way to kind of brand you a certain way because I got seen talking to somebody at a march. You do realise I'm there with a camera, yeah? And I'd love to speak to all of you. You know, like everybody say, for instance, on Saturday, yeah?
So what's happened with the cricketers? I'd
love to just be able to come up, yeah, and have conversation and hear your views. Again, they might not align with mine, but I'd like to hear them and I'd like them to be shared.
It's not the right place, mate. A demo is not the right place for us to have a good chat. It's a battle. It's a battlefield.
What, shouting? Where's it getting anyone? Nowhere,
but there is a table of peace that comes after the demonstrations, yeah? So demonstrating is not a time for chatting about peace and stuff like that between right and left. It's more about, we counter, so the left is there to counter the right. That's all they're doing.
All
So
right,
the
what
right
this
come
is-
out, UK, Britain first, your Patriots, whatever, then we counter so they don't have it all to themselves. So they don't have a free reign of hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, I'm going to bring someone on because they I think sent a super chat, so I'm going to bring them on because they said they'd like the chance to ask you something. So his name's Reese. Welcome, Reese.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yeah,
Thanks for
fire
having us
away,
on,
man.
Bear.
No, it's fine. I'll bring everybody on. There's a few people backstage, and I will like quicken it up. But so crack on. Ask whatever you wanted to ask, Reese.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that listening to what you've had to say, I don't see myself as being that far away from your viewpoint, John. I consider myself to be politically homeless. I am what you would probably consider to me to be on the right socially, but I'm an economic leftist. I believe that we should have a strong safety net. I believe in NHS. I believe in the importance of having public systems that work for everybody. I don't think that you should be able to make profit off of things like water and electricity, things that are essentially basic needs of of human existence in modern society. But I also believe in the rule of law and order. I think that we should have a strong immigration policy that benefits this country by attracting the best talent that we can for the roles in which they're needed. But we certainly shouldn't be expecting people to come to this country to do jobs that British people can and should be being trained to do. I understand that it's the failing of multiple subsequent governments that has caused the situation that we're in, the lack of investment in our education system, and also the degradation of the family unit and the importance of things that the values in this country, like discipline, values like community, has caused the situation that we are in. I understand from your perspective, what you said was that the situation as it stands at the moment has been engineered by essentially the corporate classes. Basically, the left-right paradigm that you were on about, Bear, is basically engineered, because whilst ever you've got two different opinions being marketed through various forms of media, and bear in mind that the media are all owned by two or three different interests. Right. That's it. Yep. So while ever these narratives are being peddled, and you're pointing the finger at the left, and the left are pointing the finger at you, saying that you're the enemy, what you're not doing is you're not pointing the finger upwards at the people at the top of society that are the ones that are benefiting from the cheap labour by having these migrant people come over. And they're also, the other side of that is the fact that having these migrants come over gives you someone to hate instead of
who should be
organising against the people who are the real enemy, and it's the people at the top.
That's right. You're right. I don't disagree with anything you just said. So fair enough.
I'm just going to bring everyone on. So everyone backstage, I'm going to bring you all on at the same time. Yeah. But like that ain't going to work if we all just like turn it into some chaos. But yeah, I'll bring you all on at the same time, because I don't want people just like sat backstage.
Yes, John, big up your chest.
Oh God, DP, the restore man himself.
Yeah, John. To be fair, you know what? I literally didn't even look to see so much who was there. I just clicked and kept bringing people on. Should have given a bit of a warning. Like I say, keep it respectful, guys. Yeah.
Hello, John.
My best.
All right, John.
That goes
Good
to you
evening,
as well,
John.
Dinky.
Can you hear me, Bear?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Let's have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
can
you
hear you,
doing,
mate.
John? We haven't actually met in person. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. I've brought Ray, Mr. In Between, DP Audit, Reese Average Idiot, AY Audits, UK Transparency, and Dragonzord. Welcome, guys.
Well, I'd just like to go first quickly, yeah, because I'm a little bit busy. I turned my camera on actually, as John's got his camera on. So there you go, yeah, as
Welcome,
John's
Craig.
got his camera on. John, right at the very beginning, yeah, you said about community clubs, yeah, and you
Community
said about
centres.
yeah, because I remember all that sort of stuff, yeah, and you turned around and said that like we don't know our next door neighbours, our communities have gone, yeah, and a lot of this has got to do with immigration, yeah.
It hasn't.
Now, well, I'm going to explain, yeah. So I come from London, yeah. So I've seen what immigration does, yeah. To communities. I could take you to West Ham, East Ham, Southall, Enfield, Palmer's Green, Tottenham, Hackney. I could take you across London, yeah, and show you demographic changes, yeah. even to the point where they've actually got signs change now. They're not even in English, yeah. And this is a fact. Anyway, so this is how immigration, in my view, yeah, actually is a detriment to our society. Now, another thing, yeah, that you because you're a socialist, right? You're a socialist, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah. So then you look at poverty, yeah, and you look at poverty, you look at house prices now, yeah. You look at the way that house prices are rising. You look at the way that the rental market is at the moment. You look
Landlords
at
are to blame, banking systems to blame, the rich are to blame.
hold on a minute. It's very easy, it's very easy, John, just to turn around and say the banks are to blame, the rich are to blame, these people are to blame, yeah? Because you make some really valid points in some other things that I personally think, yeah. This is where I think you're actually all right, yeah. In some things we actually agree, and I think you're quite funny, to be fair. But yeah, and when you look at things like that, yeah, it's very easy to say these people are to blame, but you got to look elsewhere as well, guys. You know, like we import these foreign workers. Yeah, we done it with the Polish and like Eastern Europeans in the 90s, early 2000s. Now,
Yeah, when
all
we
of a
were part of
sudden,
Europe, yeah, I remember
you,
it. We were part of
you know what
Europe,
I
the
mean? All of a
European
sudden,
Union.
we imported all of these foreign people into our country, and they was prepared to go onto a building site and actually instead of working for £100 a day, these ones would work for £80 a day, sometimes £60 a day, and probably do more work than what the English lad will do, and that would come from obviously their lifestyle in Poland and the value of the pound at that stage. Yeah. Now, obviously, as more migrants come in, now we see them, as you quite rightly said, yeah, low skilled, low paid jobs. Yeah. One of the main ones that we all know is on these pedal bikes. Yeah. I could go to the top of this road right this second and show you 50 of them lined up, and every single one of them will be foreign. Not one of them
Yeah.
will be English.
Our
Yeah.
people, our lads won't work and won't pedal those bikes, will they? They'd rather sit at home and get the free dole money.
Do you know what, John? This is where me and you will agree, because I turn around and I say quite heavily on these places, yeah, we speak to these Uber Eat riders. Some of them are earning up to £700 a week. You're talking 2,800 quid, £100 a day for riding pedal bike. Not only are you getting fit, lads, yeah, and looking after your body, you're actually earning 100 quid doing it.
Yeah.
So it kind of baffles me really as to why people don't do it. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's the point I
I
was
think
trying
there's
to
an
make.
inherent problem with them bikes, man. That Uber needs to be looked into with that because something's up there. Why are they? You're right, AY. Why are our kids not doing it? Because delivery
you know
drivers
what?
used to always be ours.
But it isn't just
DP,
Uber.
listen,
It's not just
I've said-
Uber, lads. It's not
listen,
just Uber.
it's
You're
not
right.
just Uber,
It's,
yeah?
it's any grass, bro. Like,
Listen.
I don't want to say it, but it is the truth. Like, let's just be straight. If you're calling shit as it is and you feel like you are, let's not bullshit. People within our own people do not want to. They're lazy these days, bro.
Yeah, but there's a problem.
Everyone's got an excuse, or like they've got issues and that. Like, but they ain't got issues at the same time when it seems to suit them. It's like
27 migrants per one of our workers. 27 migrants per one of our workers under 25. One of our under 25s. There's 27 migrant workers doing these low-paid jobs. That's the problem of immigration. I don't believe that our kids wouldn't do it. Our kids would do these jobs, and I strongly believe this. These are entry-level jobs.
Do you know what? Yeah, like, so John, I want to just go back, yeah, just to where me and you was, yeah, about the immigration, yeah, because I want to hear your view, yeah, because socialism, because so I think a lot of people on this panel and on this internet, yeah, are a little bit more left-leaning than they like to admit, yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Simply because, and I'll say it, yeah. And John, listen, I'm with you 100%. A lot of them are shekel goblins. Yeah, that's what I call them personally. Yeah, they do it for fashion and they do it but really and truthfully, they're probably a lot more left-leaning than what they actually proclaim to be. Yeah. So, and I've always said that. That's no secret.
What you mean? You think even the content creators out there that are kind of like standing with the right, you think that there's a little bit of like maybe they're not quite as right as they make out?
Maybe.
Listen, me and you have had this discussion in private.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen individuals go, bro. We all see it. We all see it. At the time, it was a channel called Joe Vlogs, but we all see it. Yeah, it was a biking channel. He come around my channel. We got talking. Thought him and his missus were all right. We met up, and he was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to go on. I might watch your videos." I was like, "Yeah, go on. I'll go on. There's one round here." Yeah, took him. He made a little video himself, and he put it on his biking channel where he was only getting ever like 500 views, and he'd had it a couple of years. He put this migrant video out, and like it got like 10, 15,000 views instantly. Yeah. And like straight away, he changed his channel, and I just watched him go from a stance where he was all for like Palestine and shit to he was like out fueling the fire during the riots, bro. Like he was someone that I would say was going live, being an instigator, bro, with the shit that was coming out of his mouth.
We could all turn around and agree on that point, yeah. But that's where I stand with immigration, John. Really, to be honest with you, because I've seen it firsthand in the East End of London, and so that's where I kind of stand, like see it. And I think if you come from like major cities, now DP, for instance, he comes from Coventry, yeah, and he's seeing a demographic change, yeah, and
makes me sad.
Like we are actually now, yeah, we are importing third world people. Yeah, I know they're human, and obviously, like everybody's human, and I can agree with that. But these come from
cultural clashes, bro.
They come from third world cultures where they're not compatible with ours.
No, the way I look at it, bro, listen, we're importing their equivalent of the working class, and what it's doing is it's affecting our working class's jobs, but the working class is the baseline for most society. They're the people you've got to look after. The billionaires, I believe, are benefiting more from the mass immigration because it's keeping wage suppression down, which is affecting the low people, which is why the resentment's rising. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
The business class is to blame. They're bringing people here for low wages. It's the capitalist society system we're using.
And then the billionaires suffer, don't they, John? Can we agree on that?
The billionaires just need to start paying a bit more tax instead of funneling all the money offshore and buying fucking yachts or whatever else they spend on the money on.
Can I ask you a question? You know, when you say that, so you know when you like, and not you particularly, but for instance, the left will throw, that kind of like, you think if you stop migration, all your problems in this country are like gone, and I'm like, no, but that's what they think we think, and it's the same that way when I hear lefties say that about tax the billionaires, tax the rich. It's like, do you think that's going to fix everything? Like by doing that?
I do.
Like,
I do believe
you really think it would?
So explain how that works then, John. So explain how that works. Taxing
basically, the
more money.
state.
How does that work?
The state should be dishing out the work The state should be owning all of our public services, the transport, the water, the oil, the everything should be owned by the state. And then the state dishes out the work, and then the profits go to the state, not to individuals who can then use that money to buy new newspaper outlets or to spend it on luxury items left, right and centre.
And do you think
It needs to be out of the hands of the individual and into the hands of the people.
Do you think the people at the top then, the people that you're going to give this money to, the people in power, are going to use it any better than the business owners that you hate?
Well, if they don't, they're arrested. The state needs to be held accountable by the people.
Well, I think what you've got to understand is that when you have, we've seen it with the NHS, when you have a system that's socialised, you have massive inefficiency because that money that is perceived by the people that are utilising it, i.e. the employees of, say, in this example, the NHS, yeah? The reason you have so much waste in the NHS is because the money doesn't belong to the people that are working in the hospital.
Yeah.
We need to take profit out. This is why we have the NHS. It's not meant to be for profit.
Hang on a second, John. Hang on a second. I'm not necessarily. I understand that the NHS isn't run for profit, yeah. But what I'm saying is,
1 minute, people.
Because there's no profit motive there, there's massive inefficiencies. If you had a model that was say like almost like the Canadian model, yeah, they have the private hospitals that you have in America that are run for profit, but you have a single point of payment insurance system. So the only insurer is the government. You pay your national insurance to the government, and then the government can dictate to these hospitals who are run for profit how much they're willing to pay for each individual service. Then that hospital the way that they make money over their competitors is by being more efficient than their competitors.
Makes sense.
So the efficiency.
I don't believe there should be any sort of like value for profit for any medicine whatsoever. It should be there to heal the people, and it doesn't matter the cost. Society should pay it.
Unfortunately, a lack of competition and a lack of the profit motive stifles innovation.
But they should be doing it for the reason to heal people. We've got one of the best healthcare systems in the country.
John, that love you seem to have, and all you left seem to have, you seem to have some love, man, because you want to help everyone, and that's great. But can you not be a little bit more for helping your own first, and then when we
see everybody as equal, don't we, buddy? We don't put people into different boxes because.
But what
I've explained myself.
I understand, if I went anywhere else in the world, even to be fair, if I went to Scotland or Wales, yeah, if they told me I'm not welcome there, or I'd leave. If I would abide by their shit, I'm not going to go there and just go and set up camp.
You wouldn't want to go to Scotland and start taking the piss out the Scottish and that, because they wouldn't be very happy, would they? So we expect the same, surely.
Well, you're a hypocrite because every time I've seen you at a protest, John, you've told anyone who opposes your view that they're not welcome there to fuck off. So how does that work?
Because when I'm at the demonstrations or someone, it's a battle, and I'm usually being called a nonce and a fucking sex offender at the time. That's why.
And I don't agree with that.
Fragile
I
ego,
don't agree with that, John.
saying?
And you know what? I never reposted none of that stuff, or never shared none of it.
Yeah, but obviously I'm a human being, guys. Cut me, do I not bleed? I think I do, just like everybody else. So I get angry, just like anyone else. And if you agitate me, I respond accordingly. Love me, I'll love you back.
If anybody called me a sex offender and called me a nonce, and called me horrible names, I'd do the same thing.
Exactly. So when you see me online and stuff like that, a lot of it is because I've been agitated, all right? It's as simple as that. That's all you're seeing is one side of the story, when we all know there's two sides and then there's the truth, isn't there?
I've seen, hang on a minute, videos where you multiple times have gone up to people out of the blue and just started giving them loads of shit just because they've got a difference of opinion.
Well, if I believe that they're a fascist or a Nazi and that, yes, I do, because I don't debate them as a rule. I'm there to try and unite the left and give the left a bit of strength. Yeah, that's why I'm there. I'm like an iron rod there so the left can be strong.
So, can I ask a question, John? So, obviously I've put my views and opinions across. If I rocked up to one of these protests, which side of the line would you expect me to stand on?
Well, we're listening to what you said. I don't know. It's up to you. You can stand on each side, but if you start agitating, you get throughout the group. It's as simple as that. If you come to some of the demos I've been on, that everyone's welcome. It's just when you start your shit, you get chucked out of it. It's as simple as that. You know, I'm a bit of security.
To be fair, like I've seen that, Reese. Yeah, when you like, to be fair, this is like why I did invite him on the other week, and I don't know, maybe John thought I was trying to do it to like bait him or something, but it weren't. It was more down to the fact that I'd seen the traction. He was getting seemed like every protest John was going to, every video I see with John in, it was, and I'm not joking. It's Saturday, John. How many content creators and people with cameras were following you that day?
If you look at Real Antifa now, I just posted one where I'm walking up the road. I've got 20 grifters following me. Have a look at Real Antifa. Look at my latest post.
Yeah. Like,
all the right-wing grifters chasing you.
For me, do you know what? No, I'll be honest. I felt guilty, man. Felt a little bit guilty that day when Nick Tenconi and everybody else is fucking shouting like taxi nonce and all the rest of it, bro. And it was like, do you know what? That's a bit much, man. We're like in the middle of a fucking public place.
And obviously, I respond. I will call them fascists.
No one on this panel, I don't think. No one on this panel would agree with just someone shouting fucking, do you know what I mean? Top of their voice, turning around and saying nonce, nonce, nonce in a public street would see that as okay if they're not that. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? Yeah,
that's not okay.
We've all determined and we all know that John's not this guy, yeah? And I personally, the more you keep speaking about it and you keep giving it like airtime.
No, hey, why? Do you know what it is? I said, yeah, the taxi for John thing, that's probably going to stay, man.
That's going to stay with him now.
It will, yeah. But the best thing to do with that is, like I see on Saturday, just fucking laugh it off, man. It's all what, do you know what I mean? But the rest, there should not be anybody at these protests shouting and calling you a nonce. There should be no one doing that.
No, there shouldn't be.
Listen, John gave the best one-liner, that I've heard this year. Yeah, it's going to take some fucking beating. Yeah, and I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's going to take some beating. Yeah. I think we all know.
This is why I was going to do some sarcastic thing before I brought him on, but I didn't want to seem like I was taking the piss. Like, the guy's done fucking millions of views. Like, in the last, mate, I'm being deadly fucking serious, bro. John talks about grifters. Let me tell you now, those shekel goblins, mate, have fucking made a lot of money off of you. They're fucking right. You know what I mean? All the way to the bank, bro.
Listen, mother-in-law.
Give me my platform for me to push my leftist views. You know, at the end of the day, guys, I've got groups all over the UK contacting me.
You're welcome. You have to
contacting me, asking me to come, help them organise and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I've won out of it as well. Yes, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that was another guy called John Hutchingson who was a taxi fiddler. Very unfortunate for me. But apart from that, I've gained massively from this. And I don't do it for money. I'm doing it to build the left, yeah? And remember, I'm a socialist, so I've got my own agenda as well. And it's just bad luck that there was a sex offender called John Hutchinson from Rill and my group was from Rill. It's just fucking, that's my luck.
John, do you have any plans to come down south to any
Yeah, I'm going to travel the UK. I've had a few issues with my van, fucking... It's leaking oil in there. The sum's fucked on it. They want 1,700 quid to repair it and that. And I haven't got enough money to buy a new one. So
John, bring it down here, guys. We'll sort it out for you. I've
got a few little issues, but I've got groups all over the UK wanting me to go down.
This is my field of expertise, John. What's wrong with it?
It's the rocker cover when I've done the timing chain. He never put it on. He's bent it when he put it on. And my sump's knackered at the bottom.
I know, don't get it twisted, people, yeah? Like, I've called a truce with John, like, and I got no issues with him whatsoever, right? Like I say, I actually think he's funny. I did from the start. It's why I fucking posted the videos, because the things he was saying, the thing he said to DP, and I said to DP, no offense, bro, but like it could have been said to anyone. It was funny as fuck. Like, and I stick
the best one-liner I've heard.
Yeah, it was fucking like that. He's got a sense of humour, man.
One-liner I've ever heard. This. No one's gonna beat it. Yeah, not even I can't beat it myself. Guy, right?
I don't usually laugh at the vulnerable and stuff like that, but I made an exception for Paul.
But the point
Yeah.
is, when we're next to
Do
a
you know what?
protest together, we'll be shouting some shit probably, no
you know
doubt,
what,
or we'll
John,
be
yeah?
winding each other up. But like, what I want people to just see, yeah, is because this is what I genuinely want. Like, I don't really want to see our society go into chaos because that's just silly. In the real world, it's definitely not going to happen. But I do think there is like this. And me and DP have been doing it a bit recently, which was DP's idea. Give him the credit. Is to go out and kind of just open discourse with people rather than do it like you said in a hostile situation, John, where you're at like a demo or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's not good at a
believe it or
demo.
not, go and adopt that Steve who does the trans things idea, where go and stand like a pillock with a board on. That's going to get everyone's attention. Yeah. Go and put something like millions need to go. Some lad said to me this day, he said, don't you think millions needs to go is a little bit much? I said, I said, if it didn't say that, would you have stopped and spoke to me? And he was like, as if to like say, fair enough, you got a point. Obviously, I'm there to engage in conversation.
You've got no chance of getting Rupert Law into power. The British politics don't work like that.
No,
let's
they-
go
there's
there.
never-
We'll see, John.
So-
He's got no chance.
So, John, I'm a paid
Right,
member.
so
Oh, go on.
It doesn't matter. They've won no local councils.
So
They've got
on
one in
immigration,
Yarmouth,
John,
and it's nothing. You're not allowed power in this country for at least 6-7 years. It's to stop Nazi ideology taking over the country, like what happened in Germany. We will not allow it in this country.
Nice,
I think he's right. I think he's right. Yeah. But John, so back
Auditors are
on
night
immigration, yeah, because all I really focus on is immigration, really, yeah. So what I was going to say is, like, with your views on immigration, yeah, anybody that arrives here illegally, they should get deported or they can stay.
No, they need to be arrested and sent back to, say, a safe country like France or wherever they come from. It's not on that people can think they can just turn up here illegally. If you went to another country, what would happen to you if you just turned up there without a passport and thinking you can just turn up and claim benefits? Like, come on, that's utopian, man. And you all say I'm a bit of a nutcase because I'm a socialist/communist. That's more nuts, is thinking that people can just turn up on our islands, our shores, and think they can just have a free, easy life. Doesn't work like that. Use the right methods and work and put into society like everybody else does. Oh, sorry, use grifters. Don't, like, not just you, Paul, is it?
Do you know what, John? I've got my own business.
I never get many donations.
Yeah.
Never ask for nothing.
But I've got my own business, etc. Yeah, I don't.
Good.
You know,
put it into society.
really,
pay your taxes. This is what pays for things.
Listen, do you know what, mate? And I pay. I'm going to be honest with you. I give my thing to my accountant. My accountant tells me what I need to pay, and I just tell him just try and make it as less as possible. You know.
Yeah, well, everyone should be paying a set rare 20%. Simple as, even these millionaires and billionaires.
I need to highlight this comment, right? Because there's something you said on Saturday, which kind of like you come out of your mouth. I didn't really instigate it as such, but this comment is, as you can see, if there's no chance of getting Restore and similar into power, why does Taximan get so angry about
because
it?
Because I'm an anti-fascist and I stop fascism wherever I can see it, and so that's what I do.
But you said
that's why I get angry about it.
I do have a clip of you admitting
it's just popular. It's called populism. Like, check it out, guys.
I know, but you said yourself, didn't you? I said something like you said the right are taking over. You feel like the right are taking over.
It's more popular now than ever has been.
The Overton window has shifted, John. That's what it is, buddy.
It is. It's more popular now. The right wing is more popular than ever since after the Second World War. And that's because of the divide that's been created in society. They've stripped all the money and sent it to the top. And now our communities are all gone. There's no community centres.
And like AY said, a lot of that.
It breaks up everything and people go right wing. It's as simple as that. Next, they'll be looking for a strong leader. A strong leader to take over and make everything right. And it's fascism. It doesn't take much.
As soon as they started giving power, to these foreigners down around London into councils and stuff, then I'm sorry, but our community's changed, So that's why I will always turn around and say that these foreigners shouldn't even be in power, in this country, to be honest with you. John, so it's very interesting anyway, that you have the same views as me on immigration, so far. And when I go to these protests, I've been physically attacked.
What it is, I
verbally attacked.
don't know why you think I've got these views. I welcome people in this country as long as they want to play the part in society. I don't differentiate by colour or anything like that, or gender. You know, I just want people to be a good part of this country. I don't dehumanize or alienate people, because that's choosing a minority to blame for the problems, isn't it? Like you guys try to do. Like millions have got to go and all that. You'll never hear me say millions have got to go.
Doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I hate them, but they've got to go. It's not about hating others. It's about loving ourselves for a little bit.
Yeah, but when millions have gone, who's going to run those services that they were doing before? Because they're not all on the door.
We have to find a way.
Migrants work harder than our people.
Hold on, John. It's our government's responsibility to figure that out and stop being lazy and masking over with it by importing loads of people. I'm sorry. We are the English, and we can find a way. I
mean, fucking hell. We didn't become the greatest empire ever for no reason. We're devaluing ourselves. If that makes any sense.
It's like I've said about 5-6 times. It's the business class is doing it for profit. So well done. They've destroyed the country.
I think. Listen to me. The Greens are going to tax some more. The Rupert Lowe's going to deport loads. I think Rupert Lowe's thing of deporting loads is probably going to piss the billionaires off even more, because tax them a little bit of money. Yeah, whatever. They've got loopholes, but if loads of people go and they ain't got the workforce, they're going to be affected even more, right?
It puts a massive stain on our history, a stain that we could never live down.
There's a stain in our country when you've got loads and loads of cities being taken over and we're being demographically replaced. The stats are out there. They're not fiction anymore, John.
Right. Blame the millionaires in the business class, not the people that are here. You're blaming the wrong people, guys.
Hold on. Within 10 years, the under 10s in this country are going to be a minority, John.
Again, blaming the wrong people. You're blaming migrants who've come here for cheap labour instead of blaming the people that have given them that cheap labour.
I am blaming them. Now we're saying to them, reverse it and deport loads of people. We are blaming them, John. That's what you're not getting.
You can't bring them in for cheap labour and then say, right, we've had enough here now.
Oh, yes, we can. Oh, we can.
That's shameful.
Where we differ, my friend.
That's a stain on our history.
No, it's not.
Yes, I've got a question for you, John. So recently, Donald Trump was talking about taking over Greenland. Yeah. Would you agree that Greenland should be for the Greenlanders?
Well, I don't see how somebody can just take over anyone else's country. I get it with this Britain for Britain and all the rest. It's typical nationalism. But they've been brought here for cheap labour. They're here now. They've lived here. They've bred here. They're using our education system, our healthcare system, our housing system.
And they can go.
And now you all wanted to chuck them out. It doesn't make sense. You're not allowed to do that, people.
Yeah, loads need to go. Where we can. Because
sorry about that. You can't just
let me give you a history lesson. So when the empire ended in India and we left, they asked us all to leave. What did the English do? We left. I guarantee if Spain say we've all got to leave, what we do, we'll leave.
Oh, come on, mate. Know your history. You're not that bright. We sucked them dry, mate. We're still living off the fat. We're still living off the fat of the imperialism. I promise you that much.
So this is modern times. We don't need to accept this as people. We're not bad people for that. Nationalism is actually prominent in a lot of countries around the world. There's countries with bloodline laws for politics. Look at Pakistan.
When it goes too far, you end up being fascist, don't you? Too much nationalism spoils a broth.
Are the Bangladeshis fascist for it?
Probably.
All these countries that we bring over here, a lot of them countries are nationalists. Are they all fascist?
It's when we start just prioritising the few over the many, yeah. You're prioritising the few over the many.
So would you describe the Japanese as fascist?
Well, it depends what era.
The current
At this moment in time?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about them to describe them as whatever they are. Back in the Second World War, they were described as fascist, yeah.
They are fiercely xenophobic, and they have very strict immigration laws.
To work for cheap labour? Have they brought millions of people to work for nothing?
They're affecting our kids and our bottom line people. So yeah, they need to go. Sorry, they do.
No, because
Paul, you've said it about 6 times. We get it.
They want to protect their culture and their heritage. Are they fascist for doing that?
No, but did they bring millions of people into work for cheap labour in their hospitals, in the community, and all the rest of it?
Hang on. Could I just say? This is why I say, pre-Blair, everyone can stay. There's a few that probably still you could and ah about. However, I'd say pre-Blair, I'd settle for that. That means all the Windrush lot can stay. You know, all the Indians that came over and fought in our wars and joined the British Army and stuff. they can stay. They've always assimilated into our country pretty nicely.
Listen, guys, guess
No
who's not in
problem.
charge of this country? The right wing. So no one's getting deported. The people won't have it. The Liberals won't have it. You're going to put a stain on our society. You'll all be. This is why we fight you, to stop you trying to do what you're trying to do with this mass deportation.
But that's
it's
the only.
not going to happen, guys.
It's funny. It's weird.
So,
it's like that's a lot of people's issue. And then other than that,
you're using it as an issue. It's just what you're doing under fascism.
Hang on, you say it's under fascism, yeah? But
well, that's fascist ideology. You need to research it, guys.
What do you mean by fascism?
So you say blame the billionaires, yes?
You're blaming a minority that was brought here.
Yeah?
Question for you:
John,
do you think,
John,
this
we're
is
not
all done
blaming
by
a minority, yeah? Because when you actually look at it, yeah, right. So, John, listen to this, yeah. So, look, yeah. Now we go back to this migration. So we've already agreed that these people that arrive here illegally shouldn't be here, yeah.
Yeah, 1%. Yeah, the few people that are coming over on dinghies. Yeah, if they're coming over no passports.
So listen, okay. So then we go as far as back as saying everybody
millions have
that's
got to go. Where's
here,
all these millions coming from?
Let me finish. Yeah, then we go back to say, right, all these ones that have arrived here by dinghy, all of them can go and all. Yeah, because they've broken the law to get here. Yeah,
there's about 700,000 people that have came here illegally. Is it?
Brilliant. Get rid of them. Yeah, send them home. Yeah. And then we can look at all of these ones that have arrived here legally and that are not contributing to our society and that have also been breaking the law. Yeah. Now, what would your view be on the ones that have arrived here legally, but then they've broken the law?
Well, if you break the law, you shouldn't be here. Did you go under the country and break the law? What do you think happens to you? You get deported.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So these ones then, that have broken the law, they can go and all. Yeah.
If you
both agree on that.
You come into my house, as a guest and start nicking my shit, you won't be fucking lasting in my house very long. It's the same shit. The country is a home. It's a shared home of everybody.
Okay.
So no, it's not
now we're in agreement.
Yeah.
So now we're actually in agreement. Yeah, that people that have arrived here illegally, that have been they've arrived here illegally by boat.
Yeah, but guys, you're trying to tar them all with the same brush. All these millions have got to go. Millions of armed criminals.
Because John, when you work it out, when you actually look into it, you actually look at some of these figures that are produced. Yeah, now we all know what Afghani men, are more capable of. Yeah, and it's proven. Yeah, because there's only a certain minority of them in certain places, and they're responsible for very high crime rates regarding sexual crimes. Yeah. Now these people are coming from places, like I said earlier, are not compatible with our society. Yeah, they see white women as a trophy. They see them they're targeted. Why is this not called out as racism? Why are these women that have been victim of grooming gangs up and down the country, thousands of women, thousands? Why, when we speak out about that, why are we classed as racist? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's because you just focus on those minorities again when it's proven that there's not just these Afghanis or these Pakistanis or whatever doing the sex crimes.
There is, John. The argument there is. Can I just say the argument there is, and it's true, right? It's not even an argument. It's actually a fact. We call it out within our own communities and with our own people, man. That's why there's things like those, whether you agree with them or not. That's why there's those paedophile hunters, man. They don't just go after minorities. The majority of them, like you say, are white people, and that will always happen in a country that currently still stands as a majority white country. You're always going to have more white paedophiles than other ethnic minorities. You're always going to have
crime, get arrested. It doesn't matter your colour or your creed or your religious beliefs. You're a criminal.
No, but the difference is, the point I'm saying is, so there's certain cultures where they don't want to call that shit out, mate. In fact, it's quite normal within their communities.
NSBC and Bernardo's talk about it there.
And to call that stuff out is seen as racist. The problem is, they do. John, you can go back and look on mine. I think DP's got one on his. For instance, Bedworth, mate. We got told to turn up to a place where, people were doing a protest outside, and mate, they made sure that the police got him out of that house. Put it that way. Yeah. And that's like what happens. They find out someone within their own community living on their estate is a paedophile, and they ain't there by like the end of the day. They're gone. They're run out of town. Same as on my estate. If you're one of them, you ain't
I
lasting
think
long.
that just goes across the board, doesn't it? If you're a pedo, you're not very liked in
But that
society.
doesn't
Doesn't matter what colour you are or anything.
So, well, what? Sorry, but why do other cultures and certain ethnic minorities then? Why do they not? Why do they not call it out?
In some communities, they get honour killed and stuff like that.
Why is there so much of it? Why is it when you look at the numbers of what immigration's gone up recently to the number of sexual crimes? It's not just a coincidence like, oh, white people have just gone out and committed more sexual crimes. No, it's because these people are coming in, and like we said earlier, they've got a different culture. Now, I don't know if you're well-travelled, John, yeah, but someone like myself isn't, for instance. So if you, like, drop me now in, like, a third world country and I had to fend for myself, mate, I wouldn't be able to, their culture and everything, I physically would not be able to adapt to it straight away. It would take me a good while to, like, realise my surroundings, get to know things, maybe even learn the language, right? If I've just been dropped. It's the same kind of principle. You've got people coming over from countries where they've been shit, mate, that, believe you me, the likes of me and you haven't seen. Yeah, they've had probably hard lives. We can agree on that. They've had hard lives. Yeah, they've seen shit that we haven't seen. But this is the problem. Like, their culture and everything's different. Certain countries, the legal age is like well below the age of 12, for instance. Legal age to have
not our culture, boys. You're talking about a different culture. It's got nothing to do with us.
When you've got people that are landing on our shores that have never lived in a Western fucking society before, apart from France for a little while, and everywhere else as they've obviously travelled over. But other than that, when it's come to settling, you can't expect these people to know. You can't expect them to fit in. I don't expect them to fit in. Like, I'm not silly. I know that if you go take these people, they ain't going to be able to adjust to our way of life. They can go rape a woman in some of these countries, and it's seemed perfectly fine. There's certain countries that we're told by our government do not go to, and if you do go to, you're going at your own risk. That we can't guarantee your safety. Basically,
I'm sure rape's not acceptable in anyone's country, guys.
But what I'm saying is, my point is, there's our government are telling us not to go to certain countries. Yeah, they're literally Sudan, for instance, Somalia. Don't go to these countries. It literally tells you do not go, and if you do decide to go, then basically at your own peril. Like, if something happens to you, it's your own problem. But yet those people are allowed to just come here undocumented. We don't know who they are, but we're not allowed to go there. They warn us not to go there. But those same people are allowed to come here. They're coming on small boats. John.
So they're coming here illegally. That's what you're saying. They're not allowed to come here. You're saying they're allowed to come here. You're pushing a false narrative.
Okay. No. When you're not allowed to come here is when they would turn around those boats and send you straight back. You know, when they get to the middle of the channel and they start transshipping them over and then chucking all the fucking life jackets back in the dinghy and sending the dinghy back to fucking France.
Then, isn't it? Like I say,
that is ridiculous.
Or whatever.
That is ridiculous.
Where is the duty of care?
Sent back to that safe country they just come from. No passport, no entry. I can't believe in that.
I've got a question for John.
John, duty of care, you say, yeah? So what about the duty of care to our British women?
Yeah, they're protected under the law, yeah.
What do you mean? So they're protected. So what about these women that have been raped and murdered and attacked? One was punched just on Thursday.
Right, arrest the person who punched her, send him to jail.
You know what?
Send him home. Why not?
Send him home.
To jail.
If they've come here from another country and they're hurting our people, like I said with the guest in our house type thing, they need to just be jailed straight away and sent deported. Nobody's welcome in this country that are going to cause problems. Simple as. Doesn't matter what colour you are. You know what I mean?
Shit, that means loads of jail spaces.
Too much on race, boys.
Loads are in jail.
Race all the time. You know,
I'm happy with that.
On a minority.
Listen, if we've got white Europeans coming here committing crime,
right? And jail them and deport them as well.
Yeah, they can. They can. I've got no qualms with that, bro. They can do that.
You're pushing this narrative that every black man is a sex offender.
No,
Every black man is a paedophile, and
No.
all the rest of it.
Not
Muslims this, Muslims that.
just
Come
these
on,
particular
boys.
countries. Just
Okay,
these particular
John.
countries they're coming from, mate.
Okay, John.
It's their
So
culture.
can I-
Come on.
John, so listen, when these people are coming from a country where the legal age of consent, is 11 years of age, and then
Where's
they're
these
coming into
countries where the legal age of consent's 11 years old? What are you on about, like? What are we
Sudan.
talking about here? Sudan?
So Sudan, yeah?
Right, I'll have to double check that because I don't see any culture in
Go
this
on.
world having a
Go
legal
on.
sex age of 11 or 12-year-old.
Go on.
It doesn't make sense.
Do you want to quickly do it now?
No, I haven't got time. It's my time's it's getting on about 9:30.
Yeah, no, but it's
You've
only
got
a quick
an hour and
little
half out of
Google.
me.
It's only
And
a
if
quick
that's how
little
they
Google.
do it, that's their culture. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm British, yeah.
Do you know
So
what? Yeah.
again, if they're
So,
coming
John-
here
The
committing
age of
crimes,
sexual
jail
consent
them.
is
Hold on a minute,
18
hold on a
for
minute,
boys
John,
and
what
I
you
don't
girls
want
want
to say
combined.
there,
anybody
Giz?
here committing crimes. Simple
In
as.
Sudan, hold on. In
Doesn't matter
Sudan,
where
if they
you're
get married,
from,
they can have
what
sex at
colour
10.
you are, or what
Is it
shit
10
police
DB,
systems
yeah?
you use.
And if they get married, AY, they
Yeah.
can't. It's 18 if they're not married. But if however, the law allows girls from the age of 10 to engage in sexual relations if they're married.
Really?
If they're married, yeah?
Really?
Sudan,
I
yeah.
don't believe
Wow.
you.
I'm
No,
telling
it's
you.
a fact. It's on
It's a fact,
everywhere
Giz.
online. Look.
It's not,
You,
it's not,
tell you.
DB, if you share your screen, I could
John, it's not-
present it on stage as evidence.
John, do you know
Like,
the
you got a
government, they
source,
banned
like,
all-
just to back up what you're saying.
John, they banned all student visas from Sudan. Did you know that?
Right, it's obviously a wrong country then, isn't it? Simple as.
So then we go to, let's go to Eritrea, yeah? And let's look at the same thing in Eritrea.
Oh, there is no legal
Yeah.
age of consent because marriage is legally required before sexual intercourse is allowed in Sudan. So they have to force in. So there's going to be loads of forced child marriages, basically.
Basically,
Right.
you are pushing a narrative. That's what it
No,
is.
we're
That
not.
all Muslims
No, it's
are
a fact.
independent.
No, we're not. It's a fact, guys. And then you go to Afghanistan, yeah, and you look at these countries, John.
Akabachi in that.
Do you know?
So,
Like
do you know
this
how
is where.
Akabachi works, AY? So what it is if once they've passed puberty, it becomes haram, right? You know, if they're still married, but before puberty, it bypasses the haram. So they do loads of little boys. That's what that Akabachi is in.
John, so
English.
did you know, John, that there was mosques, yeah, in Great Britain, in Northampton actually, yeah, that was marrying underage girls to Muslim men.
Well, if that was going on under British law and our culture, then they need to be jailed, arrested straight away, and put in jail.
That's another hard thing.
So,
They
John,
literally get let out 2 days later.
So, John, did you know that this sort of stuff was going on, or was you oblivious to it?
You know, I've been a bit busy. I don't really go use a proper far righters, any. So you're looking into all this. I'm a bit busy with my socialism and shit
John,
like that.
So
if
you
it
would
is
call
going on,
someone
if
like
the
me.
police need to be held accountable, governments need to be held accountable. This shouldn't be
John,
going on.
So, John, so you would view someone like me that's got the same views as you, what we've already agreed on, as being far right?
Well, whatever, right, far right. It depends what your views are. I don't know you that well. I've been on a chat with you for an hour and 20 minutes.
I know, but we've actually, me and you have had like some quite good discourse, and we've agreed on a hell of a lot of stuff. Yeah, especially on immigration. Yeah, we agreed about the illegals coming here illegally. We agreed about the criminals getting deported.
I think the big difference is that I don't want to send millions back, and yous do.
So how many criminals do you reckon we've got there, guys?
Well, if the criminals, arrest them and put them in jail. So
all
that's
right,
it.
So listen. So then all of a sudden, how many criminals foreign do you reckon we've had? Yeah, legal and illegal. Yeah, I think it'd be millions.
I don't know what the stats are.
It'd be millions. Yes, and millions must go.
I know the narrative that you blame the minority for doing the most of the crimes, and it's been proven that it's not. It's mainly the masses who are doing it. The majority.
You know what? I've got some questions like to be
the
honest.
prison population, 12.3% is accounts of foreigners. So 12.3% of the prison population is foreigners. So basically, there was 2025 June, there was 10,772 foreign nationals in jail. So if every single one of them, like AY saying, how many have been in jail before that were foreigners?
So a population of 75 million, we've got 10,000 foreign people in a jail.
That's still massively overrepresented.
But how many foreign people do we have in the country? Yeah, then when you look at say,
per capita,
you turn around and say, right,
it.
we've got 30% of our country's foreign people, and 10% of them are in jail. That's a hell of a lot of people, guys.
No, it's not.
Per capita, you need to look at this.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So if you've got 30% of the population of 70 million. That's about what? 25 million, 20 million? So 10,000 is nothing compared to 20 million people, is it? It's minimal. And anyway, like I say, I'd rather see these facts myself before I believe anything that you're saying.
Listen,
Because you're pushing a narrative, you're blaming the minorities for everything, and it's typical fascist ideology at the end of the day, boys.
Sort of thing, you know what I mean?
You can't look at it overall, though. You can't look at it overall population. You've got to look at it
I'm an evidence-based man. I don't follow narratives and what's being pushed down my throat.
I've had the same issues with yourself with DP, but after a while you grow to like him. By the way,
you know what it is.
You
know what it is for me, like John.
No,
he's quite a lot of shit, and all he does is goes around spreading hate.
I've got a question for you, John.
Who does?
So, do you really think?
I do.
Because I've heard you obviously say, and I know obviously again demo battleground and all that. But do you really think everyone's a Nazi? You really think
when we shout Nazi and stuff like that, it's like you calling us lefties. It's as simple as that.
Wait, hold on a minute.
Hang on. It's not. Hang on. I'm sure we all know here as Brits, as British lads, we all know that, like, somewhere down the line, our family was definitely affected by those wars that went on. Yeah, by those people. And you're like throwing that word around like it don't mean nothing. Like, you know, like when you call someone, for instance, a nonce, and it's actually like it waters down the meaning of what a nonce is. It's because
it's just a narrative we use to label the far righties. They don't like it. They don't like it.
You call Nazi at us.
What happens is if you leave the far right to fester that much,
no, I just want to say something.
Nazis, they become Nazis.
The truth is, though, John, what I've noticed, and again, from someone that goes out and documents this shit, what I've noticed is because you flippantly all use the word Nazi, now, like, because I don't agree with his views. I think he's all right as a lad. I've had conversations with him. I can, he seems like a nice lad, man, to be honest, Ryan Ferguson. But he has his views that I don't agree with, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like
he admits he's a neo-Nazi. He's
but you've allowed him to come out. You've allowed him.
Raise the colours.
But you've allowed him to.
EDL, a lot of them.
You've allowed him. You've allowed people like him. You've allowed people like him.
John.
Hang on. You've allowed people like him.
Over a decade.
White power shit.
You fucking twat.
Do you know what, Tom? John? Big up Tommy Robinson, yeah? What's your views on Tommy Robinson?
He's a Zionist shill, basically. He's here to push the Israeli agenda in this country.
What makes you think that, John?
He's here to push the Israeli agenda in this country, which is get the Muslims out. That sort of thing. Makes it easier to kill them, doesn't it, in their lands?
John, what makes you think that,
the Palestine genocide and so on.
John, what makes you think that, guys?
Because he's been funded massively. Have you not seen the stuff he's been doing in Israel? Well, I have. He gets funded by them. He's here giving it all. Why is all the Israeli flags? At your United Kingdom and stuff, why all the Israeli flags?
John, so have you got any proof? John, have you got any proof of it? I will answer. Have you got any proof of this funding or?
Well, yeah, because he lives in Spain. And he gives us some bullshit that he's frightened of the Islam in this country and he's living it up in a villa in Spain. His kids are flying around in private jets and all the rest of it, best clothing, walks about in no less than 600 quid's worth of gear when he goes out the house. He's been funded, I promise you that.
So, hold on a minute, John, but listen, have you got any proof that he's funded?
Well, I haven't. I'm just a man, aren't I? An innocent man.
Okay. So, do you know a couple of minutes ago,
like you've got
John,
yours.
Hold on a minute, John. A couple of minutes ago, let's rewind. Yeah, you were saying about facts. We were saying to you, we was presenting facts to you.
Yeah, it's all just being boys.
Hold on a minute. And you were saying about pushing a narrative without seeing the facts, without you seeing the facts. Yeah, and now you're doing exactly the same thing. You're pushing a narrative.
You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. And he's a chill for Israel.
Hold on a minute.
Why are you got Israeli flags?
Yeah, that Tommy Robinson.
We don't have Islam flags in our demonstrations.
Yeah, you do. You have Palestine flags.
No, we don't. Palestine is a genocide. There's a genocide going on in Palestine. We stand in solidarity with them.
Cares about
They're being murdered. Children.
John, who cares about Palestine?
50,000 children have been murdered there. That's why we care. That's why we care about Palestine, because that's what can happen anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, but fuck Palestine, Liz.
We care
Fuck
about children being killed.
Listen,
So
forget
what?
Palestine.
What about
Forget
our children
Palestine.
fucking when they're
Forget
When did
Iraq.
we?
Yeah.
When did? Hang on.
Forget
When
Israel.
did?
Forget all of this nonsense. Yeah, you need to worry about here. Stop worrying about these places.
The world's a global stage, guys. At the end of the
Hold on
day,
a minute. So the
John,
world.
this guy's such a fucking moron.
Can I just say, if you're that bothered about Palestine, what's going on in Nigeria?
Yeah.
well, I don't know, do I? And I'm not that bothered about Palestine. You started it all with the bullshit. Like I said, Tommy Robson works for Israel, and I'll stick by that.
1 minute, yeah. Listen, yeah. You say a villa in Spain, you know, it's not ideally a villa, by the way. Yeah, but yeah, well.
He certainly won't be telling you what he's got, and isn't he walking about Rolexes on and everything now as well? You know, this working man from Luton walking about fucking private jets everywhere and that. Who's paying for all that?
Do you really think he's getting private jet skis?
Yes, I do.
Do you really think? Yeah. So hold on a minute. Yeah. So when he flew to Poland, he flew with Ryanair.
He's a shill.
Hold on a minute. When we flew to Poland, he flew with Ryanair.
Well, I don't have any. You know, I don't go following him about. He's your little, your puppet. You love him, don't you? You're the ones who idolise him. I don't give a fuck about him, mate.
To be honest with you, it's not about idolising.
Idolise anyone. I'll make that clear. I don't idolise no fucker.
No, I don't idolise anybody, to be honest with you. But listen, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I get on all right with him. Yeah, the times I've spent with him, I've got on all right with him, to be honest with you. And I'm yet to see anything that he said anything that's racist. You know, there's nothing he's ever said that's racist.
Listen, boys, his coke habit must be about $2,000 a week.
Mate, do you know what? I've never seen him do coke either.
On all his videos, he's off his face on coke. Believe me, I've had loads of mates who coke heads. He's off his face continuously on the good stuff as well.
Do you know what, John? A lot of people on this panel and on this chat, will always turn around and say that I will be straight up and I will say it as it is and don't really care. Yeah? I've never seen him do that. Yeah? That's the truth. And do you know what? That's the truth. Yeah, so many people said to me before, when you was here with him, I bet you lot was out on the gear and stuff. And I said, you know what? Go and look at the Instagram stories that they're posting. They're in the gym the next morning at 6 o'clock, for Christ's sake. Is that somebody that's out all night on the gear? I don't think so. Yeah.
Not likely.
Listen, do you know what? It's a narrative that you lefties like to spin. Yeah, you all turn around and say, he's funded by the Jews. Do you know what? Listen, you're funded, but we're funding the Jews right now. YouTube is owned by the Jews. So every single one of us is funded by the Jews.
A lot of things.
Yeah, so we're all funded by the Jews then, yeah?
Most probably. They own a hell of a lot of it. They own the monetary system.
Tommy Robinson's YouTube channel is demonetized. So if he was funded by the Jews and the Jews own YouTube, then they would switch it back on, wouldn't they?
YouTube. Sorry.
But
John,
John, can I say something?
Who the fuck is this fucking lefty fucking John Twat? Who the fuck is he? That sounds like some
come on, John's all right.
Hey, how are you, mate? How are you? I'm John Hutchingson. You know I'm the taxi fiddler.
Let's have a bit of. I'm not trying to blow it.
Hang on.
I've never even heard of you, John. You sound like a fucking absolute retard.
He's not.
Hang about. Let's have a bit of decorum here, right?
I'm upset because I took your piss out of your mate Tommy. Are you upset because I took the piss out of Tommy Robson, little Tommy, little wannabe?
Let's have a bit of decorum here, right?
Tell him, Tommy Robson. Tell him John Hutchinson called him a wanker.
Come on,
John. When are you coming down south?
To be fair, right, John's come up here, right, is the only...
Listen, I'll just mute everyone, man. Go on, G, what are you trying to say?
Let's have a bit of decorum here, right? John's the only left on here, right? And you got to give him his praise that, like I say, I'm not trying to blow his trumpet here, but he's the only lefty on here. And we're all just going at him, right? And I personally think it's a bit unfair, right? And to start calling him a retard and stuff like that, you can have opposing views, but don't be calling the lad a retard, man. It's not.
Yeah,
There's
just like
no
a
need for
loaded
it.
comment, and it's just like it don't come with anything. It's like you're all right to disagree and debate the guy, but don't like just insult him. And then there's nothing there. It's just like a loaded statement. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, he's a fucking superstar, John is, mate. Telling you now.
Do you know what?
and he's
I
clearly
don't
a
think I've been
retard. You know what I
disrespectful
mean?
to him in any way, to be honest. Yeah, if
No,
I'm honest.
no one has. No one has.
I
Up
don't
until
think
then,
I
like
have.
just keep
John,
it clean, man. There's
I'm
no
actually
need.
going to
There's no
shoot
need.
anyway. Yeah, because there's too many people here, and I'd rather. When are you going to be down south, John?
I don't know yet. I've got a lot to do, so at some point I will be, because I've got comrades in Southampton that I want to go and see at some point.
Listen,
and that's
your
about as far
comrades
down south as I go. So
why don't you link up with your comrades in Brighton on the 13th?
Because I've got my Wrexham demo on the 13th.
All right. Are you going to do be in Birmingham on the 20th?
You knows it. I hate fucking Paul Golding. He's a fascist.
He is a bit of a
Listen, I'm going to come
I
and.
don't really like the guy. I just like the fact that everyone waves the flag and goes with his
John,
patriotic.
I'm going to come and find you, yeah, on the day, yeah. Hopefully, you'll recognise my voice, and we can have a little discussion.
Yes, I'm sure you'll know me. You'll see me. I'll be surrounded by about 20 grifters.
Yeah, they all
Yeah, you will be. Exactly.
You will be. But listen, enjoy your evening, everybody.
Yeah, sound day,
yeah, take care, everyone. Yeah.
John, can I ask you a quick question, dude? So I get you're totally against capitalism, right? What's your alternative?
Socialism, so a state-owned, and the people are the state. And everything is non-for-profit and all that shit, yeah. A bit more humanity. Stop trying to work for like material goods and stamping on the backs of your friends and your family, and just so you can eat better food or put your kids into a better school or wear better trainers. I don't know, drive a better car. Let's fucking work for humanity with each other instead of just fucking thinking you're something special. We're all the same, yeah. We're just people. Yeah. We need, humanity is life.
I agree with that.
Better healthcare, better housing, better food. Like it's now to do with all this fucking shite you're wearing on your wrists, thinking, you know what I mean? Thinking you're special. Like, people need to wake the fuck up. There's serious problems in this country.
It's a form of communism that you're proposing, then.
Well, listen, communism is a utopian ideal, yeah? So socialism is what I'm after, because that's realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say communism's never worked anywhere.
Communism not even been tried anywhere, mate. Wow. It's a utopian ideal.
People starve to death.
Cuba.
It's not communist. It's socialist.
John, can I ask a question?
Go on.
Yeah. Well, earlier on, when you mentioned about people in this country being lazy and everything, I know there are some real lazy arse doll-dossers, believe me, because I know a few of them I'm in the crap area I live in. But there are, and you mentioned things like personal independence payments, but not everybody, there are mum benefits, are just doll-dossers and everything.
If you're sick, I don't mind. If you're on the sick and stuff like that because you're ill, it's a different story, and that PIP is for those people so they can live, a decent quality of life. But you can't just live on it for the rest of your fucking days and take it easy.
I know that. I do get PIP because I've got severe epilepsy and Asperger's. But at the moment, I'm going back to college in September because I'm doing an artificial intelligence course because I want to get back to work.
Right, good. So retrain, get yourself back into work, fine.
Exactly. But it's just, I wasn't sure if you understood all things like that because the way
I do very much. All I'm asked about is people duck about and they think, right, it's cold out there. I can't be getting up at 6 a.m. and going out there in the cold because they've got used to living in this, dolly environment, like, having a toilet so they can go for a piss and stuff like that. It's all bollocks. Everyone needs to work. One thing us socialists do believe in is 100% employment.
Exactly. I'll agree with you on that. Thank you for that, John.
No, I'll say again. I'm a great believer of this. I know I've mentioned it a few times. People just need to get real, right? Life's a competition. Life is a competition.
It shouldn't be.
However way you look at it, you'll always see it. It's always a competition. Yeah. You'll never get rid of capitalism, John.
Stand on the backs of the weak. What happens to those weak people? It's no good. You know,
yeah, but we can.
if that's fascism, that's 33%.
My stance, right, is just
I mean,
like,
what
and
happens
this is listen. I'm all for all of that, yeah, but our own people. Sorry, our own people. They're like, let's sort our own people out. And I'll tell
So,
you what,
yeah.
the people that do need it at the bottom that you talk about, they can have a little bit more because there should be more in the pot. If there's not so many people that shouldn't be getting it. That's like my only issue, man. Like, and then everything else, like, I think I've agreed with you so far on. Like I said, there's a few things
So again,
I wouldn't agree with you on.
I've mentioned that they're being brought here for low wages to do the work that our people don't want to do, and now you want to chuck them all out. So that's the problem. That's the big difference.
What would you be happy if not? If okay, how about we just stopped? How about no one has to go anywhere, right? But we stopped now. Like we just completely shut the gates.
Unemployment.
No one else is allowed in the country for like
that's
indefinitely.
Fine. Just let's close the borders, innit? We've had enough. Everyone's upset. The right wing are all upset now. You know, fascism is creeping into the country. I think it's time to slow everything down.
You've agreed. So in that time, then, so we've closed the borders now, yeah. So now, as you agreed, anyone now we could go and look at that has committed crime and is sitting in a prison, or has committed crimes and been released, even they should all go, right?
Well, if they've served the time, they're still now they're released and they're being good members of the community, then maybe they need a second chance. But anyone in jail who's committed a crime and they're from a different country, get them gone.
Yeah,
okay, so there's going to be quite a few, I'm telling you, quite a few. More than you actually
That's
care
what
to
has happened to you in a
like,
foreign country, mate. You commit a crime in a foreign country, as soon as you serve your sentence, they'll chuck you back to this country. And then you should get in trouble again in this country.
That's where we should start then. That's because, like I said, you say you're to unite the left, and like I say, to be honest, still am I. I'm just one person, yeah. But all I know is I started going out and covering this and coming away from kind of like the traditional, what we call police auditing, yeah. Because again, everyone's attention was on this, so yeah, I'll be honest, that makes sense, right? You're making content. I'm not going to go and film over there where no one's watching when everyone's watching over there. So I'm going to go where everyone's got an interest. So I started covering this stuff. And I just think, like, all I've seen is, like, mad division that I didn't even realise, is actually in our society. It's mad.
They've caused a lot of it.
Between, like, our own people, though, again, like, because I'm stood there getting called Nazis and that, and I'm thinking, yeah, but at the same time, in my head, I'm thinking, like, yeah, okay, I'm not for those people that you are, but I am for you. So, like, I want to see
a lot of these actions that these grifters have done have given you all a bad name. So you're all tagged under the same brush now. So simple as that. As soon as we see grifters,
the thing with the left.
Yeah, well, we associate you as twats.
What's the grifter?
I can deal with it.
It's someone who fucks around, causing situations to film to make money off it. It's a grifter, isn't it?
Nah, bro. Do you know what? I've got very young children, John, I go to work Monday to Friday, mate. I don't really make anything off of it.
Paul, saying, look at the state of us, where we're going to be in 10 years' time, spreading hate and division, like you do.
Not spreading hate, it's stating facts, my friend.
Standing there with a restore sign saying millions have got to go, like you do, Paul.
By my opinions. I know you don't agree, but I assure you, many agree with me, otherwise the views would not be there. Them specific videos you talk about always go bang. Why? Because people agree with me.
A certain aspect of society agrees with you, yeah.
I have grew up in Coventry, and this demographic change is noticeable like you wouldn't believe. Not that I hate these people, but I love my own people as well. And I feel like, where is my own people going? Why are they not here anymore? Because we do group up. It's very complex, John. I wish we could all get along as well as you think we could, but I don't think we do, and we need to be careful of messing with
when you look around the world, it doesn't work either, does it? When you look at other places
let me continue on this point a little bit, right? What's happened is, as well, is we've brought all these people in, sat to them people and gone, you're all oppressed here, you're all oppressed. Guess who's oppressing you? These people over here. So there's been a culture of anti-white rhetoric and hating us. Do you think when we become the minority, all of a sudden these people just like us all of a sudden, or there could potentially be danger? Well, they've been taught that we're the bad guys for years, because that concerns me, and it doesn't concern me for our age group. What it concerns me for is my beautiful little grandson when he's older. That's what fucking concerns me. I wish there could be a utopia. I wish they could. And if it gets to that, brilliant, good. But my fear is the other side is it can lead to real problems, danger for our peoples, harm, like civil wars, for instance, real mass fucking problems, death, destruction, and pain and suffering. That's where
in that time, because in that time, mate, we are becoming like a minority. People think, oh, that's a broad statement to make. It's really not. Like I said, I've gone over the census from 2021, then the one 10 years before, and you can see the percentage difference yourself. And I'm not even going to tell you the stats because you won't believe me. But if that just keeps doing that over a 10-year period, we really ain't far from being a minority when we're already at something like 70.
That's the far right
we're at something like 74. It's not. It's not the far right narrative. It's not. I promise you.
We're multicultural. We have been for a long time. The capitalists have brought them all over as cheap workers. They've all been here. They've been in our schooling system. The breeding.
But the problem is, we're becoming a minority, John.
We are becoming a minority. Murdering everybody and putting them in camps, can we, guys? Just so we can have the country back. It's a bit too late for all that.
No, we put them on planes, John. We put them on planes.
Yeah, that's how it starts. You know, Germany, they took over a bit of Russia. They tried to send them into Russia. They couldn't do it quick enough, so they killed them all. 7 million people.
John, hang on. I've got... So, you know when we're sending people home, yeah? What if they're going home on like a buyback scheme? Well, we'll because a lot of these countries, I ain't being funny, if they went back with 15, 20 grand, mate, to some of these countries, they're living like royalty for the rest of their life. Yeah? So why don't we just like offer them that? Go set them up and back in their own countries. Well, they'll live like that. It's far less money in the long run than what we're spending at the moment on fucking keep on having them here.
But we're just
it's like let's send these people home.
That then advertises if you can get to the country for $5 grand.
Nah, because we close our borders. We close our borders and do that.
45 minutes out of me. I've got to be up for 5 in the morning. Some of us have got jobs.
I'm going out to 40 more minutes tomorrow.
Oh, come on.
That probably annoy you. So big up your chest, John.
Yeah, Paul, you keep drifting. You've got a few years left in you, mate, before everyone realises what you're all about.
Let me make a statement, John, though. Different of views. I know what happened, but I don't hate you. I think you're all right. Just FYI, all right?
I don't hate anybody, Paul. I just wish to pull the finger out and do a bit of work. I like to say you need to eat a few vegetables, pal.
So, DP, I don't know if that just was, but and I'm not like telling you what to do, but like, you think like you could apologise to the guy. Think he deserves an apology.
I don't need an apology off him. I won't lose any sleep over it, boys. I promise you that.
Wait, hold on a minute. He beelined for me. He asked me to make him famous. I did what he did. Everyone's seen that my videos popped straight away and then started posting them. He got what he wanted. You're welcome. Do you know what I mean?
I thought I'd be the one to like put the olive branch out there, but no worries.
No, stop spreading hate. Stop going around on your videos saying that the blacks are taking over all our towns and that, because you're individually you're like a little hate spreader by yourself.
You're
like a little mini Hitler yourself, Paul. I've been watching some of your shit, mate. You're fucking horrendous, pal. Spreading hate like no one's business, and you're one of the worst out of all the grifters. So,
right, John, I only jumped up to
try get some love going.
Go on, Outlaw. Go on, because I tried to jump up earlier.
To ask you a question, right? You says earlier that the NHS shouldn't profit.
No, that's the fair,
well, it's a registered business, right? It's a registered business, right? So technically it should profit, right? But do you
no, because I don't believe in a profit-based society.
Let me get my point across, and then you can rebuttal. Do you not think if it made a profit, we can invest in more doctors, more nurseries, more hospitals, more GPs, more advancements into medical research?
You know, if we tax that, all this money that's going to the top, that goes into the hands of the few, our elites. Maybe if we divert a bit of that and put it back into the NHS, I think that's what we need.
But we're funding at a deficit. Because
no, it shouldn't be. It's a business plan. It's a business.
There's an extra load that's not in the pot accumulation, right?
Well, listen, there's billionaires in this country and they're funneling money up into tax havens like Dubai.
They're leaving the country. They're leaving.
They're leaving so they don't have to pay any tax. If they've come in this country and made them billions of pounds on our system, they shouldn't be allowed to take all that money with them and fuck off to Dubai and that.
Yeah,
That's made in this country from our resources.
CEO Revolt was given $4 billion a year to this country. $4 billion a year in taxes.
Investing in the country.
That takes the average person's tax wage as 475,000
Some of these millionaires and billionaires make more money, boys, in one night than we make in our entire lives. Do you think that's right? Do you think that should be normal, like? But it's not.
No, I don't.
They're leaving, so that's no longer the answer.
Took the chances and done the gamble on the money.
They're leaving the country, so that's no longer the answer.
Yeah, they deserve more money.
Basically, I think they shouldn't be able to take the money out of this country. It should be spent in this country, and that's it. They've made it here. They've used this country to build that wealth. Why should they then take that wealth and leave?
But
they shouldn't be allowed to leave.
Just done it on the stock market.
It should be reinvested.
Yes, in this country.
But the government's putting too much strain, so they're leaving. Google search it, mate.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be allowed to take the wealth with them. There should be a cap. Anyway, boys, it's getting late.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. Listen, I appreciate you coming on. Yeah.
Left and right, all the rest. Try not to spread so much hate about migrants and that. Do a bit of research and stuff.
But like I say, there should definitely be more of this. There should be more of this. Like, and to be honest, I don't know if it interests you, but also who does panels very similar to this is a channel called Society X, which you're on the other day. Yeah, you should make an appearance every now and again, John, if it's not too late.
I'm all for it, because I'm trying to push my lefty views, aren't I? I've got my own agenda as well, haven't I?
Well, like Jamie would have you on. I know for a fact he would. He'd have you on.
I know he will, man. That'll be good to watch.
All right, take care, boys.
You know what it is? No one wants an echo chamber, bro. No one wants an echo chamber. But I appreciate you coming on, John, yeah?
How do I play, John?
Well,
big up your chest.
I think what it is on both sides.
He just left.
Everybody researches what they need to know, don't they? You know what I mean?
Exactly, Sean.
John's admitted that he doesn't know, he doesn't and hasn't seen a lot of what other people have brought up tonight, and vice versa. So it proves that I think everybody needs to do that little bit more research, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know how many people see this, but for me, I'll be honest with you, the live was for me personally, and everyone don't have to agree with me. Like I say, again, people will sit there and be, oh, well, but I kind of see it. This shit kind of blew up. Yeah, whether he acted up for the video and then kind of it went viral, but he got accused of something he wasn't. I see, and it's going to obviously happen. And he is quite like I say, he's actually quite a funny guy, and that, especially when he starts like throwing the insults and that, you know. So people will film that because that's like, bang, that's funny, man. People will watch that. That'll get views. That's just the honest truth. Everyone's doing the same thing. We're all trying to get like views. Let's be honest. We are. Come on. I believe he probably is to a degree when he's out and he's putting his videos up. You don't put a video up and hope that nobody sees it. You want anyone that's posting up online and says that I'm not doing it for views is an idiot. Because who puts a video online for no one to see it? It's pointless. It's a waste of your time. Like, why would you do that? Right.
At the end of the day, right, there's a polarization in the political spectrum, right? There's whether you're right or left, right? Either way, you're going to have to find some common ground. And this is the whole point of having engagement with people like John, is to find some common ground where you can meet and compromise and get some things in the centre, because no side is going to have it each way. And also, because there is the polarization in political views, right? Extremism, whether it's on the right or whether it's on the left, both as dangerous as each other.
Yeah. They don't work either. Right, that's not what you want, man. But the problem is, as we've discussed before, that the left and right, or the central left and the central right's kind of collapsed, right? And now it's kind of like, that's kind of what you're left with, the more extreme left and the more extreme right.
Yeah. But I will give him credit, Bear. He said everything straight out to us, though, didn't he?
Hey?
He said, he was honest with us.
Like I say, man, we ain't going to agree, man, on shit. But like, there is common ground, and I do think somewhere, as much as all of it's kind of funny and a bit entertaining on the day, I do think there has to be more. Like me and DP haven't like decided to go out and fucking stand around with a board for the sake of it. It's because it's to engage in conversation with people that are going to see it and have an opposing view. And then, like, they're going to see, like, millions need to go. And even though, like, the stance stays the same, that, yeah, millions do need to go. Like, when you actually have a conversation, like we have done, it's like, right, so you break this down. A lot of them are not exactly the same, but they're all amongst the same about, like, yeah, criminals need to go. Yeah, if they're not doing this, yeah, they need to go. And it's like, all right, so, you know what I mean? Like, by the time you start taking all of these people out, how do you know that actually, because we don't know, if I put 70 million people in front of you and took out like so many percent, are you going to be able to look at that and tell me how many percent I took away? Oh, you fuck.
God knows.
Yeah. To be fair, there was some common ground found with the lefty there. It did agree that the illegals coming over should not be here. The criminals that are of foreign nationals should not be here.
Yeah, like
you know,
should have that opportunity, G, to clear his name. To be honest, not that he needs to. He's obviously done it on Billy Moore's. Billy Moore gets fucking loads of views, like I say. So I don't know how many people, but I think and he should. I was speaking to him, and he was like, "No, I'm like trying to." You know, he was like, actually, I'm trying to get myself out there a bit more, actually, and fucking try and debate people. But obviously, when everyone's acting like a dick around him, like, it's a bit hard, isn't it? He's saying now, like, before he can't even, he's already getting people shouting stuff at him before he even gets a chance to open his mouth. It's kind of like, yeah, I get that.
It didn't stick to his far left views, though, did he? Like I said, there was some common ground on 2 points there found.
Definitely, Big G.
That's because I said the other day on a live, and I stick by it, yeah? When we look amongst ourselves, we probably have far more similarities, yeah? Far more things that we agree on than we do actually disagree on. But for some reason, as human beings, it's something we all fucking do, and I know we do. Some maybe more than others. But we do the complete opposite. Like, it's just... Well, I don't know why humans do that, but they do.
Like, I mean, we've spoke about it before, like, and it happens on both sides, where you can agree on 99% of what somebody's saying, but because you don't agree with that 1% of what they're saying, you're against them.
Yeah, I just think it's a bit much, man. Like, but yeah, he cleared his name anyway. He's come on, had a bit of a chat. Fair play to him. You know what I mean? And again, like that's what I said to him just before he goes. These are the type of places he needs to be, really, isn't it? Whether it be right or left, you ain't got to come on ones where go wherever you want. But like, this is where you need to be on places like this. If you want to kind of get like your views and your opinions out there, that's the way forward, mate. Because whether they align with mine, like I say, you know me, with like this whole like I say, I'm an advocate for freedom of speech and shit, man, and people's rights, like the ones we still have. And yeah, man, I think people should have the right in this country, whether their views align with mine or not. I will always support them. Or respect their right, should I say, in being able to fucking, like, for instance, protest. That's like saying we can't protest, you know what I mean? You can't try and say, oh, no. So people should be able to have their view. They should be able to have it aired and voiced. And like you say, what you got to hope for is that you can find some common ground. Because all I do know is, and we all not stupid, we all see it. Even like people that are just viewers of YouTube, you must see it in all the content that you watch. And you've been watching this kind of content now, some of you, for some time, because I recognise all of the names, yeah. Whether it usually be in mine, not mine, but some other channel, I see all of you. And it's like, you've all been watching this content for so long that you must see it yourself, right? It's just insane. Whole fucking country's going to shit.
Hit the like, share, and subscribe, people.
Yeah.
No, but it's right. It's like we've got But everyone's always hung up, mate, on all the fucking differences that we have, and rather than like the similarities that we share, and that it's weird. It's weird because they're like very few and far between, like that we actually like their margins, I reckon. And it's like, what are those margins when you get speed? That's what I always think with people. Right, you've got an opposing view to me. That's great. You sit on the other side of the fence, but like, what are the margins between mine and your? Do you know what I mean? Because there's always got to be some common ground. There has to be, surely. Because this idea of keep going out and screaming at each other every weekend, which I believe is all done by design anyway, and we're all just being tipped off against each other. And I go back to, I'm talking about all of us. I'm not calling anyone specifically stupid, but I think as human beings, we're actually as smart as we're meant to be. We're fucking really stupid. And every time they fucking play a stunt on us, like we just play to the tune every time. So they just... They're fishing, man. And we bite to it every time.
A person's views, you'll never ever get 100% of what you want. It's all about compromise.
But that's what I think. I think exactly what we've been doing recently, opening conversation and that, because what else are you going to do? What else is everyone actually going to do about it? Because no disrespect, I ain't stupid. I'm all for people protesting and I advocate for people doing it. But at the same time, if you ask me the question, Bear, because I do get asked this, Bear, do you think these protests work? And I get asked them at protests by protesters, and I'm just kind of, yeah, I guess they do. And I'm thinking to myself, they don't really, do they? They don't change nothing. No. Yeah,
I don't even class them as protest, Bear, because they're all arranged.
They're all they're all arranged.
It's not a true. Right. It's not a true protest, is it? And a true protest is impromptu and without the establishment warning. Is literally go protest en masse. But no, these protests have to get bloody sign off from council, government, and all police and everything. It's not a protest.
It's pathetic.
No, I agree with that. But this is what we got, and instead it's just two sides waging war against each other. And 9 times out of 10, when I go to these places, the majority of people that are marching or counter-protesting with these anti-racism boards and stuff, they're actually white people. They're not even like people in ethnic minorities. Like the ethnic minorities ain't out here. So what are they? Why are you moaning when they ain't out here moaning? I don't get it. Shouldn't it be the other way? It's like you're fighting a fucking battle for somebody that, to be fair, they don't even need to fight no battle. What are you going on about?
Can I report some, as Ed Mod, can I report some abuse from your missus, Bear?
Guess what? I made the Daily Mail. Chilling. Made the newspapers again. But I can't share it for some reason. You know, for the migrants in the chairs, Bear.
Only you.
Migrants in what?
Remember me and Ryan went to Solihull Hotel and the migrants in them fucking massage chairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
On X and then use the footage to make an article about it.
That hotel's weird.
Nah, it's got the oldest bowling green in England in the back of that hotel, circa 1300.
I know it has. I know that because I went there last year.
It's not being used because obviously their fuckers are in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing when I got there. I can't believe that's not being used anymore because of these fuckers. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I'm surprised they destroyed it.
Yeah, I bet they've been told on strict instructions. Do not fuck around with that.
Yeah, like they'll fucking listen.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna shut this down myself. You know.
Big up. Let's go for Jamie.
Yeah. Is Jamie live?
Yeah, he's live.
Yeah, he just gone live.
Yeah.
He's just gone.
He wasn't very happy with you, was he? Do you know what I mean?
No. Hey, Bear, do us a favour, won't you? when when you're a kid tonight, mate, just get a bit of chocolate, shove it down your missus in between the cheeks and that, and then when she wakes up, she looks like she shit herself.
Yeah.
All right. Can I remind you, she is pregnant and very hormonal. So maybe not.
Right, pal.
And that's like now. I probably wouldn't do it if she wasn't any of that. To be fair, I still wouldn't take my chances. She'd kick my ass, bro.
Birds before whores and that, man. Come on,
Nah,
birds before whores and that.
You get me in enough trouble, you do. You get me in far more trouble than enough.
What you been up to, Jay?
You know what I mean?
Can a moderator put Society's link in the chat? Just for those that might not know Society X is. I mean, I'm sure they do. Sure they don't all live under a rock. The YouTube rock, but if there's a moderator that could put it in, that'd be fantastic. And let's all head over to Jamie's then and bombard Jamie's back. He done it earlier, and we'll go back over to Jamie's now.
All right,
we'll see you over there, Bear. See you over there, Bear.
Thanks everyone for joining. Yeah, appreciate everybody. Like I say, something a bit different. I think the guys are right. I'll be honest. This is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to kind of leave it at, I think John's right. Some ain't going to agree with me. I think he's quite funny. If you're constantly poking someone with serious allegations, like shouting nonsense at somebody, like I said, I personally think that's a bit mad, man. Shouldn't be doing that shit. That's just my stance on it, and I'll fucking, that's the hill I'm on, and I'll die on it. So, big up Newton Potatoes, FJ, Me Chong, Ralph, Craig, Stepper, Nave, all the mods. Big up the mods. Me okay, me. Big up yourself. Get out. Big up. Yeah, all of you, thanks for joining. Let's go over to Jamie's, man. Let's go over to Jamie's and go gate crash Jamie. Well, when I say gate crash, I just mean go chill. Let's go.